Stone 5/6 clay body with grog. But it probably won't last as long and be as durable. Yeah. So I'm going to make a pizza stone, and I'm using approximately 10 pounds of clay, somewhere in there. And I want it to be as big as my bat, and I believe I have a 13-inch bat. So even though the one I showed you before was just a 13-inch, to get a 13-inch pizza stone, you're going to need to make it 14.5 inches. You know, so
what is the shrinkage rate on the Shopman clay?
The Shopman clay, because of the amount of grog and everything, I think it's probably 11. So it's not quite as much. I don't think. We could always look at the catalog and see. But this is when I get dirty. Okay. The tip to using, to throwing a large piece is very simple. It took me a long time to learn it because it is so simple. I tried throwing 25 pounds years ago, and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it, and I had clay everywhere. I spent a weekend determined I was going to throw 25 pounds of clay. I was going to make a big pot. And I would get the wheel going as fast as it would go, and I was very young and strong, and I would like, ugh, and it would go flying. And all I had to do was slow down. It takes a little bit longer, but just simply slow it down. And I use my left hand, my right hand, as a claw. So I really claw the clay in this way at the very beginning. I slammed it on the wheel head, so I know it's down there. It won't come off, I hope. But I'm pushing very hard with my left hand, and I'm going to cone it up first before I start taking it down. And if you can throw 5 pounds, you can do 25. It's just a matter of taking your time. It takes longer. And then another tip is, before I start going down, I take away any large amount of excess around the side. So to do that, I cut down, cut around here. Whoop. Onto the floor.
Are you concerned at all with the little hole in the top?
Not really, because I haven't taken it down yet. I'm just, I'm not really concerned because I will watch that and probably put my fingers inside of it as I take it down. So when I take it down, then I'm gonna simply do this. It's a good point though. Okay, then I use, this is when I use my chest and my shoulders, and I just come down. So obviously it doesn't look much like a pizza stone yet, but it will. I'm not pushing straight down, I'm pushing in and down. It's very important because it's more gentle on the clay. If I tried to muscle it straight down, it would end up coming off center, and it's almost on center. So I'm gonna come down. So then I'm gonna go straight down here. And I have to be, I want my left hand to let the clay come out. I don't want to try and keep it in there because it will go off center. I'm gonna come down. See how it's angled in the middle? Doesn't look much like a kiss anymore, does it? So you kind of have to feel like what the clay will allow you to do and just take it in steps. So you can't muscle it too much or the clay will twist or maybe even fly off the wheel. So press down into the middle and across. And I'm taking it out at the same time. But now it's pretty fairly centered. So down. Excuse me?
So the sound we're hearing is the exfoliation treatment in progress.
Yes. But yeah, afterwards, my hands will be just like baby smooth. This is wonderful clay for making large pieces. That large piece up top by Stephen Proctor. It's a workshop that we did here, and he made that. That's this clay. And I don't know if any of you know Brian McCandless, who makes 8-foot tall sculptures, and he uses this clay body. It's a very, very forgiving clay body. It will let you do lots of things with it, and it doesn't crack, and you don't get as many cracks with it because it has, I mean, think of a fourth of the clay body is grog, you know? So it is, it feels like cement when you're doing it. The piece back there that is bisqued by the window, that's the same clay body. And the flower pot with the little plant in it, that is the same clay body fired in oxidation in an electric kiln to cone 9. It turns a nice yellow in oxidation. I've had that flower pot probably for a dozen years, and they can stay outside year round. This clay body, if you do a sculpture, if you do a large piece, and as long as the flower pot is shaped this way. If you have a flower pot and it has a narrow neck and a wider bottom, the snow and the ice will get in there and it will crack. But if you make a flower pot that's aimed up like this and the snow and the ice get in there, it won't crack. This clay body is so forgiving. So now I'm just simply going to push this out. And remember, this is a pizza stone, so it's going to go in the oven, outdoor, I guess. I don't know if it could go on the grill because aren't many clay bodies that could take that extreme temperature. Somebody said yours is on the grill.
On the grill. It came with the grill, yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
round, and you take the grill out of the middle, and you set the stone in here. It's the
Nice.
best pizza.
Wow.
I got a quick question. When you're making the pizza stone, aren't you just doing the same exact technique for your cake plates, only with a different clay and making it thicker and wider? Kind of.
Speak up.
So what's the last thing I have to do after I get this out to the rim of the vat? Does anybody know?
Compress.
So important, so important. You don't want to compress it so much that you take away the fine particles of clay. When people first start throwing, a lot of times if a clay body has grog in it, you will see beginners' pots, the grog will be on the surface, and that's simply from overworking the clay and taking away the fine particles. So if you could work a little faster, that might help, but also just don't overwork the clay. Okay. So there she is. She's out pretty much almost to the rim. There's no real trimming to this. The trimming would be just simply going over it with a sponge, maybe a tiny bit of a tool, but you could simply flip it. This I would flip probably 8 or 9 times before it's dry, because it needs to dry very, very slowly under plastic and a towel, probably for a week or two. Larger, I mean, this is thick. It's really, really thick. So, and there's no reason you couldn't do fun things with it. And either texture it or, I wouldn't glaze it. I just wouldn't glaze a pizza stone. I think that you would end up not having the heat be as radiant somehow without the bare clay being there. So probably go in, 7 or 8 times. I've asked this clay to come out really wide, so just start here at the edge and work your way in. And I really love the idea. I mean, measure your ovens at home. I mean, I think mine is a standard size, but some are larger, so you could make this. I mean, think how heavy it's going to be, when you use it. I mean, but you might be able, I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't put a couple holes in it and suspend it, with a leather thong or something. It'd be heavy, or a nail on the wall somewhere or something. I mean, just to store it.
Stud.
Put a stud. Yeah, you'd have to go into a stud. I mean, how much? I think I used about 10 pounds of clay. So that's a lot of.
I've got an idea for it. It might be silly, but it might work.
What's that?
You could warm it up and put it under your bed.
Yes, you could. That's a great idea. In the winter? Yeah. You know what, though? That's where my cat would be. And my dogs. They would be
They would
right
love it.
there. They would be right there.
So
So,
they used to do that with bricks and
Yeah.
fire?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sure did. Okay, so you can see how groggy this clay is. It's really, really groggy. So even though I compressed it with the rib, I'm gonna go back over it a little bit here. Because I don't wanna mess up my canvas over there. I'm gonna cut under this pizza stone, and I'm gonna just very carefully go here. And this K6 Shotman clay body has I thought it has 28% grog, but it has at least 25% grog, and it's great for making large pieces.
And you can buy it here at Northeastern
And you can
Ceramics.
buy it here at my business called Northeast Ceramic Supply. Dennis would love it.